Hello everyone. In this video I want to talk about this guy here. This is a new gimbal that I just purchased for my Phantom quadcopter. And I'm really excited about this guy. I just got it in. You know, I'd been looking for gimbals online. You know, I looked at the Zenmoos. I hope I said that right. Too expensive. Really didn't want to spend that kind of money and have to put all that stuff in my Phantom to get it working. So I started to look on eBay and Amazon, and of course you have all the kind of generic Chinese, the CNC, they call them the CNC metal gimbals. Look like they work pretty good, but you know, from what I can see, they're pretty heavy. So happened to be browsing around and I bumped into this quadcopter from Walkera. This is the QR350 Pro, kind of the competition to my quadcopter. This is their new version too, and I happened to see that they're using this really nice gimbal on here. And lo and behold, when you look in products here, they do sell a gimbal, and it does work with not just their copter. Basically, it works with any. It's kind of for any, as they say, 350 size quadcopter and above. And there it is. So, you know, I looked at this. I know Walkera is a pretty good brand. I know I'm going to get directions. At least, you know, I'll have someone I can call for support if I have issues, etc., etc. Lo and behold, I ordered it, and here it is. And actually, it's empty in here because I already installed it, and I didn't want to take it out to just do the unboxing. But as you can see, came with foam. Actually comes with a set of directions here, which are actually, you know, decent. It actually shows where all the connectors are, what they are, which is nice. You know, and that's nice because those other ones you get really don't tell you anything. There's no directions, there's nothing. So you get that, plus you get all these parts. You know, the servo leads here. This is too short to go into my Phantom, but this is what you would use to connect it to the NASA for the tilt and the pan, which does work with this, from my understanding. I haven't done it yet. I have to get a longer lead, but these are what you're going to use. And actually, this little tool here, get this out, this tool here is actually used on the bottom here of the controller. There's actually a couple holes here, and you actually put this in it and twist it, and that's how you kind of trim it, which is actually very nice. You don't have to hook it up to software to trim it. You just basically can use this. But anyway, let's put this, and then there's actually a quick install guide too. And let me tell you, to put it on the Phantom with the plate that comes with it doesn't exactly fit right, but I got it to fit. Let me show you what I mean. So here it is. This is the gimbal, and as you can see here, I went cheap. This is a Gopro 3 gimbal, but I just kind of jury-rigged my FC40 camera on there right now. I will go and buy a GoPro 3, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So for right now, I'm just testing it with this. And if you're wondering why there's this little metal screw on the side, I put that on because this is set stock from the factory for a GoPro 3 weight distribution, etc. So with just this camera, it tended to have a little bit of problem when I banked this direction with it. So by putting on this little extra weight, that seemed to fix it, and now it works beautiful. So let me give you a closer look at it here on this camera over here. Let's see if so basically there is the controller board right there. And these leads are for your tilt and pan. And actually what's nice is they, look at that. I guess I have to put it the other direction for you. They actually label the tilt, pan, and roll for you. which makes it really nice. And then on this side here, we have two different types of modes that can be used with the gimbal. I have it in mode 1, seems to be working. I have to read up more on exactly what those modes do, so I can't tell you what the differences are on them yet. And then let's see, on the bottom, here's the holes I told you about right there and there. Those are to trim it out, and this function is, I think actually you do some of the trimming that's also used for resetting the gimbal. So this is one of the reasons I bought this one. It just seemed like it was really nicely put together and would be easier to set up. Of course, here is where you connect your power. And actually, this plug comes out. They give you this little lead with this JST plug. And all I'm doing right now is I'm actually using a small LiPo battery here and just plugging it in to power it. But what I will do down the road, your Phantoms actually come, I don't know, right here if you can see that, but right there, if you look where that antenna, right next to it there's a couple, it looks like a cut wire. Well, there is a cut wire, because what that is your auxiliary power for the Phantom. And all you need to do is pull that out, you know, and feed it out more and solder on, in this case, a JST end, and then I can plug it directly into here without having to have this LiPo on there. But for right now, I'm just doing this. I may switch to the internal power down the road, but I want to see how the battery power goes. So, or what I'm getting at is when you connect it through the body, you're going to be running off of your battery that's powering the whole Phantom, so I don't know which is better, to add the little bit of weight and have a different battery or not, so I'll have to test those two. So anyway, the last thing I wanted to go over is the mounting. So you notice it's a little farther back. You can see that. And you notice there's one of the mounting holes that you normally would mount. There's a mounting hole right there, and I'd say right about here is your second mounting hole for your normal GoPro mount. The problem with this, because this is a generic use on any type of quadcopter gimbal, if you mount it to those two holes, this front end right here actually sticks out to about here, and that creates a huge problem, meaning you can't get your door open. It bumps to get your battery in. So what I had to do is just literally move it back, and you can actually see the one screw. Let's see if I can get that in there. Yep, there it is. I just mounted it with the one screw there. No problem. It's on there real steady. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's working great that way. So, fortunately, I only do have one screw. I may redo it and maybe put a little double stick tape on there also to just, reinforce it a little bit more. But at this point, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So I think that's about all I wanted to go over with this right now. I will say, I took it for a test flight tonight, and the performance was, it was stellar. First of all, this is just stock. I haven't trimmed it or anything. I simply added, a little screw, and, I don't know if I've matched the weight of the GoPro or not, but with that little screw on there, I took it up, and it completely kept the camera steady and smooth, and I banked it pretty hard, left and right, gave it some speed forward and back, and it just kept it steady. It just looks like the camera is floating in the air, so I gotta say it does a beautiful job. And the other thing I wanted to say is this is about half the weight of the Chinese, the CNC generic gimbals that you find on eBay. In fact, another gentleman, I don't have a scale, but he measured it, and I think he said it came out at 4.5 ounces, and he put it up against the Tarot gimbal, and the Tarot gimbals, which I think are about the same weight as the CNC Chinese ones, came out to about 7.5, almost 8 ounces. So this is a pretty light guy. So anyway, I think that's about it. I did shoot some footage. As soon as I got this installed, I took it right out and flew it. Unfortunately, it was dusk, and I'm using the FC40 camera, which is not the greatest at night, so the video is kind of grainy, but you can check that out. That's another video I have that I've already posted, and you can, look for yourself and see how smooth it is. And I roughly got about 14 minutes of flight with it, with the gimbal. Maybe a little more, and, if you're wondering what I'm running, I have you can probably tell, I have the Phantom 2 props, and to power it I actually use these Electron Pro, and they're actually 2700, sorry, that wasn't in frame there, Electron Pro 2700 milliamp batteries. So, normally, when I didn't have the gimbal and I just had the camera with the standard mount, I was roughly getting 16 to 18 minutes. Now I'm getting, it seems, about 14 minutes, but, I've only done one flight so far. But it was really smooth, and it really seemed to work out great. So anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I hope it was helpful for you. And if you like it, please click the like for me. It really helps out. Thanks.